What's up, y'all? It's just Rhonda. Welcome to my channel. It's Tuesday, everybody. We working our way through this week. Is Monday worse than Tuesday? Some days, for me, no. For me, no. Sometimes I feel like Tuesday hitting is the weekend, and I'm like, what the hell just happened? Sometimes you get in, you'll be on your fresh start on Monday, and then Tuesday is when things kick in and you get all, wore out from whatever it is you're doing over at the workplace. If your workplace makes you feel dragged out from what rest and relaxation. What's up, Elsie? Just popping out of her live over there reviewing Ready to Love. She said like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, because that's what keeps us going over here. We come over here, we hang out a little bit, we have a little kiki. It's like the doorbell. You know what I'm saying? You can't just walk in the house like you can walk in the house. I appreciate all of y'all that are here, but just hit the doorbell when you come on through the door. So we're over here to get into this Married to Medicine episode. It's season 12, episode 5. Um, they called it baggage check. I'm not sure. Maybe it's because there was so much conversation about bags, but only person traveling was Quad. So, I feel like this title makes my brain work harder than I wanted to. And, let's just get over here and get into it. They start with the aftermath of Toya and Eugene's party. Eugene invites Toya down. He's downstairs in their lovely home. He calls her. Isn't it cool how you could just call somebody to come downstairs? That's how we do it. And my house ain't like Toya's, but we do text each other and be like, hey, can you come here for a minute, please? Isn't that like wild how that's how we live now? I'm a Gen X, so we've seen everything. We've seen everything when we were like right before high school. I would say 1985. I think that's might have come out a little bit earlier than that, but right when we were in high school, some of us still in middle school, what have you, but Gen X all the same. There was this book called Big Brother. And we were like, fascinated at the fact that any of these things could be happening. And boy, here we are. So we have seen a lot. Hey, T, have you ever read Big Brother? I feel like I want to read it now. You know what I'm saying? I'll probably like just get it like on audiobook. But it was one of those books that came out a long time ago. It's cool to go back and see like what he has said was going to happen versus what is actually happening. So I'm not sure how I got on this conversation, but Toya is over here not taking accountability for shit. And on one hand, I do appreciate, this is why we love Eugene so much. I do appreciate that rather than stay mad, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure they had a conversation, but him trying to resolve this issue, between the two of them. So he calls her downstairs to hash things out. I am not mad at the frozen margarita machine. Like, Toya, I would like a cherry blossom tree in my closet and a margarita making machine. I don't need the margarita making machine. That might get me into trouble. Give me some kind of latte machine or something. But I was like, not come downstairs and have frozen margaritas with me. Weren't they drinking last night? Is this how Dr. Eugene is like, I'm home for 7 days. And for these 7 days that I'm here, I'm going to be, lady, so I can relax and go back to work. Diamond has one. I bet. I mean, oh, she's got the bar and the whole situation set up to have a whole, boom boom room if she want to. Yeah, I'm not mad at the margarita maker machine, but he leaves with an apology. She comes downstairs and he's like, listen, I feel like I could have handled that better. I didn't realize like how important this, party was for you and what it meant to you and blah blah blah. Latoya is always somewhere trying to impress people. I feel like that's why she does all these grand things for these houses. Because I could live in my house and I'll be damned. I mean, I know it's for the TV show, but Dr. Heavenly ain't invited. Why are we inviting people that's gonna start shit as soon as you get in your house? Or Toya, start shit with your guest, because that's what happened here. He's apologizing to her for, he said, I could have like quit playing or however, but she's pushed him to this point. Latoya has said and treated Eugene so disrespectfully in front of these group of friends that he says, like you said, like, they're not even a safe space. These ain't even really our real friends. She's treated him this way in front of these people, and now they feel like they got free reign to do it too. And I'm not sure I understand that, because I can't imagine going to anybody's husband and saying the things, via text message, and you know what I'm saying, publicly saying things about this man like the way Quad has and Heavenly has and Contessa has. You know what I'm saying? Take a shot at Toya. Why are y'all taking shots at Eugene? Because, it's really not fair. And so he's finally, after all these years, fed up and like, girl, you disrespect me in front of these people. Now they feel like they can disrespect me. And now when we get in front of them, I got to like hold my shit, stand up for myself. Curtis, I'm not Curtis. What's this man to be keeping his hands? That's Curtis over there, can't keep his hands to himself. He's so upset that Latoya called him out that he's pressing Eugene every time they get together with the same damn conversation. Like you wasn't putting your hands on people and like you didn't pull that lady down in your lap. And you and Dr. What's her name, Jackie, can sit over there all you want and say she sat on his lap. She did not. I went off on a tangent, but that's how we got here. She wants to show the house off, but it's not going to make them like her anymore. And I mean, why don't they like her? Like, I feel like her mouth is a reason not to like her. She be doing too much. But the criticism of Toya and Eugene, like, and they ain't been homeless yet. Every time they talk and brag, bring them, they paying all these houses and they didn't get evicted from anywhere. I've only seen Latoya in mansions, so, Yeah, she gave everything she said. She gave them the bullets. But, I mean, somebody could give you the bullets, but it make them look bad saying the shit. The shit that Dr. Heavenly is saying is so ridiculous. Like, give me a break. What are you, 12? Anyway, I'm glad he finally said something. I feel like this has been building up for a long time. And, like Tamika said, y'all tell you gave them the bullets. You set this all rolling. They have footage and footage and footage throughout this episode of her like disrespecting her husband in front of all these people. And he's trying very hard, you know what I'm saying, to not disrespect her. And she won't even, her husband said, he doesn't like the way that the people talk about him. And it hurts his feelings. Yeah, it will hurt my feelings. And saying, especially like, the ego, you sit up here talking about his manhood with giving these women, these old hens, license to say whatever the hell they want. Ugh. It's definitely her mouth. She's not likable. Yeah. She be doing too much all the time. And Dr. Mimi is calling her ass out on it. She came over here. She took zero accountability. She couldn't even figure out after he sat up there and told her that it hurt him the way that these people talk about him and that if she didn't do it, they wouldn't do it. Like he spelled it all out for her. Something I feel like we've been waiting on for a minute. We've been waiting on Eugene to say, Toya, this is you. And maybe having the men, I feel like, how they say right message, wrong messenger. I feel like because it's Curtis over here flapping his mouth, we don't want to hear what he's saying. Let me click it up here, child. It's so sad to watch. If it was the other way around, the views. Oh my God. if he sat up here and berated her, someone like how King is doing the quad, we'll get to that, but that's what he's giving. You know what I'm saying? Talking about is her walls, uterus walls, not wore out, bitch. What? Anyway, this is what we over here talking about, Eugene and Toya. She finally admitted that she could speak more positivity into him, but I don't feel like it's enough. Like, girl, you invited people over to your house, and first of all, let's start at the bag. That's what set this whole shit off because you hit um you hit Dr. Heavenly with a rock. It was a rock. Dr. Jackie said it was a rock. You tried to make it stand. It was a rock. It was who left this cheap ass bag over here or something like that. Unnecessary. You started this. And you know that Dr. Heavenly has no couth whatsoever. So she followed up with yeah, bitch. Sorry. BICTH in that order. Yeah, you know, Heavenly don't have no kind of good sense. She's very gutter. She's gonna say the nastiest thing that could come to her mind. And so, what does she do? Aim at your husband, like she always does. That's why her and Simone fell out because she was aiming at Curtis. Like if I mean at Cecil. If we're friends and I say something to you, like being vulnerable, like people love for you to do, don't do it with Dr. Heavenly because she's a put it on her YouTube channel and then throw bullets at your husband. What'd you say, T? The older he gets, he will get tired. Wait until his male menopause kicks in. I mean, I don't know when it kicks in for men, but he's probably kicking in. Hers is too. They be over there taking all kinds of shots and things to keep the things going. But the way Toya be having naked people roaming around the house. Is she doing all that or is it just for show? Because she's not the most athletic. As much as she likes to call other people out, Toya is not athletic. She got a large ass and she be drinking wine down to the tennis court. Now, I've seen her look very good. You know what I'm saying? When she got to get ready to do things, red carpets and things. But hell, she probably go down to, what's the name, Brandy's office and get that taken care of too. So we don't know what she's doing over there. She looked good though. I'm just saying she's not athletic. So you want people to be drinking and playing games at the party. And when they don't want to do it, you are firing off on everybody. She can't even, I'm sorry, she couldn't even think of a reason like, oh, imagine being that out of pocket. And when somebody calls you out on it, you can't even fathom in your mind where you went wrong. Wow. I mean, they left it in a place where they both felt comfortable. They were playing pool, and he was like, "Are you glad? We had this conversation." And she's like, "Yeah, I just wish you would play spades." And I only brought this up because I think he should definitely not play spades with her. But her mouth is too reckless. I would play any kind of card games with Latoya because she gonna take all the fun of it, especially if you don't know what you're doing too. Huh? You don't just learn to play spades. I don't even always I like to play spades, but it depends. Like if you're going to be taking shit too serious, I don't want to play with you. But I'm competitive, so I like to win. But when y'all get to slapping shit around because people reneged and things, I'm good on that. We can play Uno. So Angel and Mimi and what's her name? Brandy have a play date, Dr. Brandy. I like this scene because it got the new girls a chance to get together without outside influence from the OGs. You can't play spades, Elsie. Then you don't want to. I'm telling you, people that play cards be on another level. You know what I'm saying? So when you get around card tables, all you got to do is watch the news during holiday weekends and see how many people ended up under arrest over a spades table. I don't blame you, Eugene. And Toya is the type of person to have you worked up where you might want to anyway. We over at the play date. Yes, I like to see the new girls bond kind of without any of the extra. Dr. Mimi is very uppity, but I'm not mad at her for some reason because her calling out Toya doesn't bother me. She is a little looser, like in her real life, than she is spades and dominoes is not for beginners. Definitely not. um, yeah, I like Dr. Mimi. All right, I can see where she's like I said, giving a little bit uppity, but her her regular self is given a little more relaxed than when we first met her. Also, I feel like the storyline with her as a parent dealing with a special needs child, I think that's some real shit. People that are out here dealing with those types of situations, I feel like can always benefit from other people that you could get information from that is going through it. So I'm here for that storyline. Even in that moment, we take things for granted. When our kids are healthy without any challenges for the most part. She does look really cute in her everyday self, her little jean shorts and things. And like I said, I like this little trio. There's not no all a mess. There's no she gave her my ass to kiss or none of that happening over here. So it's like refreshing, I think. They all have kids the same age. Now, when they walked in there and Dr. Brandy had all them damn kids, I was like, I see why she was so grateful. I see why she was so grateful that her husband had gave her a night out, child. I think it had less to do with paying for it and more to do with I have wanted a break. Like she's been pregnant for a long time. Her kids are back to back to back. Um, she asked Mimi like why she didn't bring her son, and she shared like the challenges that it is, dealing like I said with a child with special needs. She said the boy then broke TVs, and I would imagine people will be understanding of that. But even like when your kids are like 2 or 3 years old and you got to keep an eye on them, this little boy that lives in my house has not. He's barely 1 year old. He's 1 year old in a couple few months and will run through here in lightning speed and touch everything and grab everything that you got to run behind him. So I can imagine it's not fun when you want to go somewhere and just relax. You got to take your kids with them. What'd you say, T? I totally understand about the baby breaking the TV and acting up. My cousin deals with that. Yeah. And you have to be, I feel like, around people like um you were around her kids from like the very beginning, and when you want to get out and talk to a friend and hang out, you have to be around people who would absolutely be okay and comfortable around your child, because no matter what the situation is, you're gonna be protective of your kid. And not everybody is so understanding, or you just want to be in a place where you feel comfortable. She said your dog was limping after she left. Yeah, because they be rough, but I think that child can be anybody's child, because kids and dogs. Um, yeah, that's wild. But I mean, this seems like a comfortable group of people to be in. They start asking Angel, like, what's her story? Angel, what episode is this? Did I say 10? Girl, and we have nothing. We have absolutely nothing. Oh, this is episode 5. Girl, pick it up. What are we doing? Is Angel's story ever coming? She's over here. They're like, so girl, you're single out here. We're married. What's going on out in these streets? Because I've been hearing some things, that I'm like, what the hell? That's a thing. Um, and Angel said nothing. Like her answers are very like not answers. So she said in this whole scene and was like, well, I don't know. Is she just showing up pretty and that's it? And she's not bringing nothing else to the table? Like, I don't know, Angel. At this age, I feel like if somebody asked you what qualities are you looking for in a man, you should probably have an answer for that. It's, in different stages of your life, I think you have different answers, but she finally came up with something, I guess. Um, She says she's single and she implied that her kids' fathers don't help. I would like to know more. You know, one of the fathers is a former athlete, which they'd be stingy to and not wanting to contribute. And sometimes it's not even worth, if she's financially established, sometimes it's not even worth, dealing with they ass. They keep you tied up like Martell. Um, she had a chance to give us something and she blew it. You say you wanted to know what happened in her last relationship, but she dropped the ball. So um I feel like I was listening to Color Me Pink the other day, and she said, and I believe it was the her and whatever happens. What is her name? Whatever gonna happen. I can't remember. I'll put the link down in the bio because it was they covered everything like for New Year's. Um, but I feel like she said that there's photos of Angel's ex last relationship in bed with another man. That's the tea now. I haven't seen it, but I feel like she says she might drop it or something. So that's the tea. And I can see where that would be uncomfortable to talk about, but there's so much more. Like, and what if you did say that? Is that outing him? Is he already out? I don't know. I don't know, but I feel like you could talk about other things in your relationship that, maybe was the reason why things didn't work out. You got to open up to something because I don't know. They had a whole dialogue, both of them. Brandy, you came in there and all those little children were popping up from behind the sofa. And I was like, holy moly, what does her husband do? The mother-in-law was there, so she's got some help for grandma, but good grief, she's been pregnant for a while. And then, we got Mimi's whole story. We got nothing from Angel. So I don't care anymore. If Quad is just going to come over here and be like, oh, this is my friend. Ain't she fine? Yeah, I guess. So she seems like kind of dingy, though. Child, ain't nothing going on out in these streets. If you got a good one at home, just be grateful. What else? Is there anything else in that? Oh yeah, they start talking about Toya's party, but Dr. Mimi is not feeling Toya in the very least. What did she say about Toya? She said Toya is an energy vampire that lacks restraint and or emotional maturity. And I was like, yeah, that's it. LaToya, an energy vampire? Can you imagine being in the room with Toya? You would be able to relax not a bit, because if she's not coming for you, she will be coming for someone in the room. Generally about the labels that their clothes are on. Generally, that's where she attacks you at, as if Dr. Heavenly can't afford a real, designer bag if she wanted to. So, yeah, it sounds accurate as far as I'm concerned. I'm feeling like Dr. Mimi and LaToya might not, be able to get along, and probably because Toya misbehaves and doesn't like for people to point that out. I mean, and Dr. Mimi is like, keep that shit over there because I don't do it over here. And I can imagine when you see her family, dynamic, and also when we were talking about the play dates, I can see why they do them separate, because it's too much. And the little girl will never, ever, ever get the focus that she needs if the mama always has to have her focus on the son. So, and vice versa. Like, obviously he needs a particular kind of play date in order for, him to be comfortable. So, child, do I have time to fight with Toya and her stupidness? I do not. So we will not be spending a whole lot of time over there. Dr. Simone, as loud as she is and annoying as she is, I felt every bit of what she was saying over here to her sister. And Cecil's brother is here. He's divorced, and he's basically like, man, if you don't get your shit together, we'll be roommates down to the condo with the boys. Dr. Mimi hangs out with Quad. Yes. So, I mean, she hangs out with Quad. However, Quad doesn't attack people in the same way though that Toya does. So I can see how Quad would be fun. I feel like I would hang out with Quad. She's very dramatic, but it's not the same thing as Toya be reckless with it. She just be coming for people and expecting you not to say nothing to her. That's why didn't somebody's mama, Mariah's mama, slapped her upside the head with her pocketbook? That's where we started. Let's be clear. That's where we started with Toya. She was at a pool party and somebody's mama had to smack her upside the head with a purse. And then Toya came over here like, oh my God, the people seen me that way. And it was the people in my kids' school was terrible, but prior to that, Toya went down to the beauty salon telling people that Aiden was not them kids, that little girl's daddy. So, yeah, Quad is not as terrible as Toya when it comes to that type of stuff. I feel like she's a respond kind of girl, really dramatic, but more of a responder than, taking shots. So, Cecil's brother moved to Atlanta and, I feel like Simone and her sister were in a way making excuses for Cecil in terms of this is how he was raised and his father did this and I was like, girl, this man is 60 years old, damn near, if not already. I don't think his decisions that he's making are necessarily tied to, how he was raised. Hell, you raised him and it seems like still is. That's why you over here crying. Y'all really want to feel sorry for Dr. Simone, but she messed me up after buying that boy a Tesla. Girl, that bothered me so much. I was like, two things bothered me a whole lot about that. The whole, I'll take your plate and give it to the dog. Because, the conversation should have been over then. She should have closed up her things and said, okay, well, thank you for dinner, but I'm not about to sit up here and let you talk to me like that. So maybe, later we can revisit this conversation and then shut down the damn credit card and say 60,000, you've crossed over your limit like multiple times 10. So, I'll holler at you when I holler at you, but she didn't do that. She sat there and let them keep going and keep going. One son is laughing at Miles. I don't know if Miles even knows what's going on. He kind of doesn't care. Michael is a brat. He always has been. And it's cute until it ain't cute no more. Yes, his brother is there telling the honest truth because he's been there. Like he seems like for Simone to be able to call the brother, you know what I'm saying? We don't know what happened with him and his issues over at his house, but ciao. So, Simone, like I said, is worked up in tears. And, this man is got to be 60. So I wanted to slap Cecil from behind this bar. This conversation had me so annoyed. And I feel like Cecil was mimicking things that he's heard out in the, stratosphere because it's like verbatim the same thing that, people have been saying about the Black man's struggle. However, it is not a struggle to stand your ass in the financial aid line. Oh my God, he's so passionate about he doesn't want his kids to have to stand in a financial aid line. And I'm like, well, I mean, okay, but that's not, a struggle. Honestly, that's a person trying to figure out a way to be self-sufficient. Some people based on, I had to get financial aid. Some people are eligible for grants. Clearly you are not. Wealthy people's children apply for scholarships. I know plenty of people with a lot of money whose kids just went to college and they applied for scholarships and things. So I'm not sure why you about to blow a gasket over financial aid, which your son did not have to do. He also did not have to spend $60,000 on a credit card when he don't work. They have a condo. Like that's the kind of thing I think is kind of, yeah. If you have the means to put your kid in the house, but at the same time, they should have been responsible for things. Like they don't learn. All they learn is that mama got it. And daddy gonna back it up. Cecil talking big shit about Simone's money, and his brother checked him on that too. What did he say? He said, let me see, because I had to write it down specific. He said the only way you can say we got it, we got the money, is if we agree. Exactly. The person with the money gets the last word. And if the person with the money don't agree, Cecil, then we ain't got it. And if you ain't got it, then it ain't got. It's all on Simone. She over there talking about they don't give a damn. They don't. It don't seem like it. They don't. They won't until you create some new boundaries. That $60,000 could have paid for grad school. Well, you know what? I'm uncomfortable with this conversation. And so if you don't stop doing that, I'm going to take your plate and give it to the dog. That's where he at with it. Flipping us off because I don't have the Jeep. Ha. I got a Tesla. Yeah, okay. Is Cecil so passionate because he's afraid that he on his way out? How would that look? You know, because Simone, if you want to leave. How much is it going to cost you? You know, what that Mama Joyce, the lifestyle in which I have become accustomed to. What does it take to get Cecil out the way? Give him the condo. He can have the condo and the Maserati. I don't know. We have to figure a way to work this out. He can have custody of the children. You, Cecil, get custody of the children, the condo. Y'all can go over there and, you know, have 175 bottles of liquor because Michael and Miles drink a lot, just like their father. If you go back to looking at their condo, there was enough alcohol over there that probably cost half of that $60,000. Them big old bottles be $100 a bottle or more, depending on what you're drinking. And he fancy. He like Riley over there having $14,000 tabs for one night partying on your tab. My ass. Riley, don't ever be the only person of color somewhere covering the tab of a trust fund baby who ain't trying to pay you back. That's that. What's next generation, child? Yeah. She said, his uncle said, I mean, not his uncle, his brother, he said, Michael and Miles are going to be okay. And I was like, no, they're not. They're not going to be okay until they start learning how to take care of themselves. And if that's not a requirement, it's just not going to happen overnight, you know. So we'll see. Because I don't know that they got trust fund money. Simone says she want to retire. I feel like a lot of moms feel like Simone, overwhelmed and unappreciated. I don't know that they got a husband over there, you know. Well, probably some of that too. If Simone don't put herself first, at some point she gonna be stuck right where she is. So there's that. Quad and King. She's packing for Guyana, and this is her third round of egg retrieval. And I feel like Quad did not have to do this in Guyana. Quad made this even more difficult than it already is. And I feel like all that traveling is stress on your body, which doesn't make sense when you're trying to, you know, they're going through. You couldn't find the best around here, even if you were going. I feel like you could have found someone locally to not make it. You know what I mean? I feel like, you know, women who are trying to get pregnant, the body is under a lot of stress because you want it to happen so bad. So there's that. Now you got to be traveling back and forth, and then the way we living right now, you travel somewhere, you might not be able to come back from where you at. It's just too much. It doesn't make sense to me. And then this nigga want to act like everything you do is irritating to him. And being on hormones and being quad, I can't imagine what that might be like. It might be a lot of irritating. That's probably why he still lives in his own house. which I think it was that same conversation over there with Color Me Pink. Um, she said, I feel like she said, and you have to, I'm not 100%, but I feel like she said his business is in his mama's name and his house is in his baby mama name. So I don't know, child. I don't know what. I mean, I know how I feel about it. I feel like um, King might only be good for direct deposits, and that's it. I don't really, think it's a good idea for her to be emotionally. I mean, she's already emotionally attached, but yeah, I don't know what the expectation is because just the way he talks to her now, um, it's not how the way Dr. Eugene talks to Toya. that's what that's what I would want in a relationship. um, you would think try first here, but I mean to go all the way to Ghana, because this person had. Listen, that have more to do, I feel like, with the person, the fertility of the person. Yes, the doctor was involved, but I just feel like going all the way to Ghana to have IVF treatments is ridiculous. And if you want to use this man's genetics, I'm not mad at it. I see where you're going with it, but please don't have any more expectations than that because, the authenticity of whatever this man is bringing to the table ain't, at least we knew Dr. Greg was a psychologist or whatever. Hey, Kiwan, welcome to the chat. Happy New Year. So yeah, what else? Heavenly is having this, not Heavenly, Simone. Simone is having this get together where they're gonna go make leather bags. And while that's happening, the guys are over at Scott's house. Um, Scott got a cook from Flint, and he got the guys over. He didn't even cook out for Contessa's after party, child. And here he is. Look, the people said, and when I say the people, I mean T. That the streets said that Scott be in Flint often. That's what the people said. Now, I don't know if that's, do him and his chef have a restaurant or something? Is that his excuse to go back and forth? But his homie is out there at the crib. His wife wanted a birthday party, and then he flying chefs in for a cookout. Yeah, the steaks look good. He said if Eugene approved, then it must have been good. Eugene said he was glad he went over there cooking though. So basically, Heavenly and Toya are still beefing in the group chat. Now, see, this is the thing right here. So y'all are not texting each other. Y'all are down to the group chat beefing on some nonsense. It started with the purse, and then Heavenly go all the way to Eugene's manhood. Now it's a happy Father's Day. Heavenly, she wasn't even talking to you, though. Like that right there. It's happy Father's Day. And tell all your people happy Father's Day for the most part. And then here she go. You need to say that to Eugene publicly. And all the people in the group chat are like, what the heck is happening right now? So we're going to an event together. We got to be in here seeing what the vibe is going to be between Heavenly and Toya. Because the last time we seen Toya, she was throwing people out of her house and calling them bitches. What'd you say, Kiwan? He didn't do anything for his wife's birthday, but he flew the chef out for his boys. Yeah. Maybe he likes his boys better than he likes Contessa. She's a weirdo, that's for damn sure. His family is there. His family is in Flint, so he be frequenting Flint. I wonder if he's thrown any parties. Have you been invited to any of Dr. Scott's parties in Flint? Oh, child. So yeah, these ladies are walking into this event not knowing what they're walking into because Toya and Heavenly been beefing on the group chat. So annoying. I've never, been to anything like this. Like for me, it would be work, honestly. It was cool though. I guess if you're a craft people person, not everybody is a craft person. So you could go at least if you can make something that you'll use instead of like a pottery or something. But they all trickle in, and Contessa comes in there dressed like Battlestar Galactica. Where did she think she was going? In the middle of the day, I think Simone is overdressed. You know what I'm saying? We're coming to cut and sell things, make bags. Why? I guess Simone, it was her event, so she thought, I'll go ahead and look nice for my event. Her edges look good. Your edges look good, Simone. I'm just saying, because they be so glued on and things. Her edges look good. Mimi, she's very casual in her baseball cap and things, but she looks like how I would look, or most people would look, in the middle of the day, going to, a handbag making class. Brandy looks like a regular. Everybody was dressed normal. Dr. Jackie didn't come to impress or make a bag. So she looks irritated to even have to be here. She don't like y'all. Contessa never disappoints with her fashions. I mean, I guess, girl. I don't know. I mean, her body is bodying, and that's where I'm gonna have to leave it. What else was going on in here? As soon as they got in here, Latoya and Heavenly start going at it. They can't see nobody have a decent time when they go somewhere. Heavenly Toya keep throwing shots, talking about Heavenly don't know what leather is, and it was irritating. It's getting old. So if Heavenly, that's why I said it was cool with the other girls. What'd you say? Toya won't use it because it's not name brand. That's her problem. And it's why I think part of the reason, aside from her mouth, like Toya finds value in labels. And I'm like, most of them, if you got it, you got it. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong. If that's what you want to spend your money on, I guess. But like I said before, if Heavenly wanted to buy a designer bag, she can. You know what I mean? Simone has them. Dr. Jackie has them. They don't be calling out people for not having them. She need a stylist ASAP. Contessa, child, she thinks she got it. She said her party was epic. So, her taste level is on par as far as they've been telling her. She don't want to hear it. She love a plastic Battlestar Galactica dress, though. Pink, green. This one is blue. We can go back and see how many times Contessa came to the party dressed like a space lizard. They were discussing the text, and the ladies were pointing out to Heavenly that there was no reason, like her response was a shot. You know what I'm saying? So by the time she get back, they start going back and forth about who don't want cheap leather and what somebody's portfolio look like. Then they was all the way to, calling each other out their name and shut the F up. And, everybody's standing around looking crazy. Until Jackie came through with the sisterhood speech. And, I guess that's what she came over here to do. Meanwhile, over with the guys at the cookout, Curtis is irritating my soul trying to get Eugene. What is it that you want him to do? Because no matter what Toya did, you did what she said you did. So you shut the hell up. She's praising these labels that don't want to deal with. Yep. And there's so many Black designers out there that, you know what I'm saying, that I feel like if any time would be the best time to support. But when it's time to go over to Black designers, all of a sudden they don't want to pay the money. It doesn't carry the same status, even if it's handmade leather by a craftsman. You know what I'm saying? That's not better than getting something shipped from out of the country where these people are paying $20, $30 for stuff that then charging you from what I understand, not the Balenciaga, the Hermes bag don't cost them nowhere near what they got y'all paying for. Y'all paying, 4 mortgages with one purse. I guess the only way I would be satisfied, you know what I'm saying, to go to the store and be like, "Oh yeah, that's nice. Put that shit back," because I'm not doing it. But I mean, it's her prerogative if that's what she wants to spend her money on. But why are you calling somebody out for not doing it and acting like that's a problem? That's not a problem. She's like, girl, I'm finna sling this bag here and there. This one only cost $600 and it looked just as cute as the other one. Nobody looking but Toya. That's pretty much where, it ended. They going back and forth about the damn bag. But Curtis and these guys are over here trying to. Dr. Damon has the audacity to talk about the way him and Toya interacted with each other. Like he don't have to carry Dr. Heavenly out of the room. And Scott, Dr. Heavenly, and Contessa act a straight fool at every event. You're talking about my mother, my 10 years dead mother? They all do it. I feel like they finally came to that conclusion, but all Eugene was saying was, yeah, they do it to each other, and I kind of don't care about that, but I really wish y'all's wives would stop coming at me. This shit is, pissing me off. And Dr. Damon is like, well, Heavenly never did that. Yes, she did. In a text message that started out about a purse, and now your wives is over there insulting my dick as if they've ever seen it. So, Curtis, you shut up. Oh, he irritates me. I feel like I can't stand him or Dr. Jackie when they pretentious ass walk in the room trying to advise people. Shut up, both of y'all. That's about where it ended, y'all. Next week, Quad over there crying again. I feel like Quad should probably start to wrap it around her head that her journey to motherhood might not be through childbirth. And now I'm not saying, if she wants to be a mom, and this is the thing, like if you want to be a mom like that bad, then there's babies that need, you know what I'm saying? There's children that need. You want to just experience childbearing, that's probably not going to happen. Yes, Quad needs to leave King, but not before she steals some of his seeds. She might have to steal him a different kind of way. That's all I'm saying. If she's really interested in having this man's genetics, she might have to go about it a different way. But her carrying a baby, like, I don't know what the situation is. Quad is over 40, so egg retrieval, I don't know that that's something, I don't know. But I feel like, the whole IVF thing might not be her road. And I have never experienced that, but we were talking about this the other day on the Ready to Love review. You live your life doing all these things, and I don't blame her for not having a baby with Dr. Greg. I wouldn't want to procreate with him either. So I see why she was holding out, but when you wait and wait, then your time run out and you have to start thinking about other things. There's plenty of kids out here that need and want love. You know what I'm saying? You just, your time might have ticked out. And you flying all the way to Ghana, that makes zero sense. Toya was also throwing shade about Heavenly Son by saying she did. She did say that. I got good kids. Now, Toya, like, don't put your foot in your mouth. Don't put your foot in your mouth, because once these kids get out the house, they make their own decisions and they do whatever it is they want to do. And you be somewhere like, what the hell happened? You think Dr. Heavenly didn't feel like that? I bet she did. I bet you Nene felt like, oh my God, will this kid please? You know what I'm saying? So once they get grown to you, you don't know what's going to happen. Next week, Cecil and Simone are going to be going at it. And Quad is crying, because this man is probably not excited to have no damn baby. Um, no one is going to respect Eugene because his wife treats him like she does, and he let it go this long. Like, I feel like I appreciate him saying to her how he was feeling. It felt like it went on deaf ears. And as far as the guys are concerned, they're not going to respect him. It don't matter now. Even at the party, when he tried to stand up for himself, she turned up some more. Can you be a man and lead? And then came back and was like, I should be able to say you to be a leader. Girl, you know how you said it and how it came across. And the guests were like, oh shit. And then you cussed them out for responding. That's why Mimi said you ain't got no type of um, emotional maturity. No one talks about Damon because they know Heavenly don't play about him. I mean, and Damon is lame, coming in a costume party, not costumed up. Like, there's things you could say about Damon. He sound like Snuffleupagus and act like him too. You could say things about Damon. Nobody talking about, well, she brought up her husband's dick. That's not something I choose to do in front of anyone. I don't do that. We don't be discussing my man's stuff with the ladies. That's, crazy. And we damn sure not insulting. So, I feel like Eugene is hurt by the things they're saying, but it has to be in his head, like, that she's not satisfied and she doesn't, not attracted to him in that way. So, but she did that. That's it, y'all. We made it through. I'm gonna get y'all Huntsville. Yeah, at some point I'm gonna get on it. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow is Wednesday. It's Hump Day. I won't be live, but yeah, I'll go ahead and get it to y'all. In the meantime, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye, y'all.